Number 10, beam me up, baby. It's seldom you get the crack question of the year and the crack answer of the year in the same place. But it happened to the now notorious star of his own crack-smoking video.
Am I an addict? No.
Toronto Mayor Rob Ford, when he got put on the spot in an open forum with the whole world watching.
Have you purchased illegal drugs in the last 2 years?
Yes, I have.
Ford was a trendsetter in 2013, leader of the pack in the category of Mayors Gone Wild, with honorable mention to number 9, San Diego's Mr. Smooth himself, Bob Filner, who resigned as mayor facing a tidal wave of sexual harassment allegations, charges of unwanted advances, including a former female employee who filed suit. Irene McCormick Jackson alleging that Filner asked her, "Wouldn't it be great if you took off your panties and worked without them on?" He was eventually sentenced to 90 days home confinement and 3 years probation for assaulting women. Number 8, also in the runoff for worst mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, the former hip-hop mayor of Detroit, convicted of racketeering and extortion so pervasive that prosecutors said it helped push the Motor City into the largest municipal bankruptcy in American history. Kilpatrick finally got the term he wasn't elected to serve, 28 years in federal prison. And speaking of elections, number 7 on our list isn't a mayor, but he could have been. New York's former Congressman Anthony Weiner, a hit performer on the list from past years for the sexting controversy that made him leave Capitol Hill. Weiner made an encore running for the Big Apple's top job. But when more explicit pictures surfaced that were sent to a 22-year-old woman under the alias Carlos Danger, Weiner, who's married, lost the primary with less than 5% of the vote. Magnanimous as always, Weiner gave the media the universal "we're number one" hand signal as a parting shot. While we're on the subject of popularity, number 6 on our list is that agency everybody loves to hate, the Internal Revenue Service. And in keeping with the season, what might be described as one of the most notorious naughty lists in recent U.S. history. It seems somebody at the IRS got the bright idea of singling out conservative groups, especially Tea Partiers, for extra special attention. The practice attracted outrage from coast to coast, and an investigation by the other federal agency that gins up fear and anxiety everywhere, the Justice Department. And speaking of spilling the goodies, there are some non-government players that must be mentioned for outstanding performances in 2013. Number 5 on our list is the former Man of Steel, Lance Armstrong. Here's a guy who was master of the cycling world and the big lie, winning the Tour de France 7 times, claiming repeatedly that he wasn't doping to enhance his athletic performance. But after being banned from the sport, he gave a tell-all, sort of, interview with Oprah. Where else? He confessed and offered what may be remembered as the biggest understatement in the history of sport.
I'm not the most believable guy in the world right now.
Number 4 on our list, with another kind of credibility problem, that phony sign language interpreter who crashed the Nelson Mandela Memorial Service. It would be funnier if it weren't so creepy. This guy got within arm's length of the President of the United States making meaningless gestures. It later came to light that he had once been accused of rape and murder, but was found not guilty. Number 3 is Paula Deen.
My goodness.
What would possess a host of a popular cooking show to get herself embroiled in a lawsuit where somebody was actually going to ask her under oath whether she ever used the N-word when she knew she did? Can you say, settle the case already? And speaking of legal problems, number 2 on our list is the not-so-secretive anymore NSA, the National Security Agency. Who would have thought that one government outfit that was supposed to be Stealth City could manage to embarrass or anger just about everybody in the U.S. by letting a rogue former contractor named Edward Snowden download a busload of secrets, so-called signal intelligence, from its computer system, splash some of it to the media, then run off to Russia, of all places, while the goodies continue to be spilled item by item for maximum effect. And finally on our list, coming in dead even, tied for first place for the Broken Government Award of the Year, Congress, for the absolutely inexplicable government shutdown crisis of 2013 that featured an absurdist dramatic reading of a Dr. Seuss classic in the midst of a 21-hour Senate talkathon.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am.
And not to be overlooked, the Obama administration for the utterly disastrous, bungled rollout of the healthcare.gov website. Which debacle was worse is entirely in the eye of the beholder. The futile attempts by a congressional minority to dismantle a law of the land upheld by the Supreme Court with the stated aim of getting rid of the president's signature achievement, or the video replays of the leader of the free world promising that his signature achievement would allow anyone to keep the status quo, only to find out that, well, it just wasn't true.
If you like your health care plan, you can keep your health care plan.
Joe John, CNN, Washington.